So, what is the final phase of editing for me as an indie author? I am not going to use ProWritingAid on this book. In an ideal world, whether we live in this ideal world or not remains to be seen, I'm hitting that point of this process where everyone else just feels like a better writer than me. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It's great to have you all here. For any of my returning viewers who are like, Andrea, am I losing my mind, or are your glasses a little bit different? I do have new glasses. They look very similar to my old ones. I think my old ones were a little bit more round, and these just have a little bit more of a shape to them. They also have they're Swarovski, which is my favorite. So they have the Swarovski swan with some crystals on the side. And now I can't see if that's in focus, so I hope that's in focus, because without my glasses, I can't tell. I love the frames. I'm not wild about the lenses. So these are progressives, which is my first time with progressives. I've had traditional bifocals in the past many years ago. I think when I was like 10 or something, for a time I was in bifocals, but I've never done progressive lenses. I don't like them. That's not really relevant to this vlog. I'll probably talk about that later. I feel like I should reserve judgment just a little bit because they say it can take 2 weeks to adjust. But yeah, I like them for some things and I really hate them for other things. Like, I like them in some moments and I hate them in other moments. Anyway, that is neither here nor there for the topic of this video. This video is the start of the final edits for Independent Hearts 4. For those who are new here, or those who just need a recap, Independent Hearts 4 is my super cozy small town romance series set in a fictional town in southeastern Wisconsin. It's based on a real town where my family is from. There's a lot of my personal history and family history in these books, particularly in the 4th book. There are 3 books in the series so far: The Bookshop of Possibilities, The Inn of Hopes and Dreams, and The Candle Shop of Wicks and Whimsy. Book 4 has a title. I have not announced it yet. I'm almost done with the cover, so once I've got a cover, I think by the end, if all goes according to plan, by the end of this month, there will be a cover reveal, a title reveal, hopefully a launch date, all of that stuff. So we are getting very close. So the last vlog was finishing up the developmental edits, finishing the 4th draft of the book, and now in this vlog we move into the next and final stage of edits. I have some notes of things to discuss in this vlog. I think to start with, what is the final phase of editing for me? Then this is for me. So I am an indie author. I am self-published. I have 8 novels out so far. So this will be the 9th one that I am publishing. I have written more than 9 novels, but this will be the 9th to be published. As an indie author, I have a lot of control over a lot of things and I get to make all the decisions. So I also then decide what the different phases of developing, writing, and editing are, and deadlines and all of that. It's one of the things I like about being an indie author. That being said, I have talked about how I am hoping to traditionally publish a fantasy series that is currently in development. So essentially one day I'd like to be a hybrid author. But for this book, it's all indie. So what is the final phase of editing for me as an indie author? We have line editing, copy editing, formatting, and proofreading. So those are the main kind of final editing and formatting stages that are left, or tasks that are left. And then alongside that, alongside those 4 tasks, there's an additional task, 2 additional tasks, 3 additional tasks, the cover. And I feel like the cover design breaks down into a few different tasks. So I need to finish the front cover illustration, which is at this point 90% done. I'm way ahead on that, which is fantastic compared to where I've been with the cover by this stage with all of my previous books. So definitely gonna like keep up this new plan of like getting the cover done super early because it makes a huge difference. So I need to finish the front cover illustration. That then becomes the ebook cover for Kindle, and then it becomes the front cover of the paperback cover. And so I'll be working on the front cover illustration and the ebook cover, like getting the text and everything laid out on the front cover / ebook cover how I want it. But I can't do the paperback cover until line editing, copy editing, formatting, and proofreading are done, because it's not until the proofread is done that I have the final page count for the interior of the book. And that page number I then plug into the paperback cover template generator that Amazon KDP has, and that is used to calculate the spine width. You can calculate the spine width on your own. It involves a lot of math, and I don't like math. But once you get to that point, the rest of it is pretty easy. So finishing up the paperback cover is pretty easy. It really is the front cover / ebook cover that takes the longest. So while I'm working on these other things, and this reminds me, I probably should add this to the list of what we're going to talk about and try to do today. I need to get out my final publishing checklist, which is a Pages document, Apple Pages document that I've used on most if not all of the other books, and that gives me all the things that need to be done. I also need to, from that checklist, I want to create a kind of detailed task list. So also related to the formatting and the cover, there are things that I can be working on and writing while I'm doing the final editing. So I need all the metadata listed out, keywords, categories, those sorts of things. I need the back of the book description, which will become the book description on the sales product page. I need to gather all the like marketing copy that I put at the back of each book. I put like little blurbs for all of the other books. So most of those I can copy over, but like the last book I published was Forever Love London, which is part of my London contemporary romance series. I don't have a blurb and like a page created in vellum for that book, so I need to create that so that that can get added to the back of this book. I need to be drafting the author's note and the acknowledgements. There's just lots of little things like that that I need that listed out so that I don't forget things. And then those are things I can work on in between doing everything else. So like if I get to the end of a work session and I only have like 10 minutes left and I want to like use that 10 minutes, maybe it's not enough time to get through a full chapter, but it is enough time to do some edits on the author's note or something. So I need to be getting everything organized, because at this point it's a lot of little things. It's a lot of smaller things that I'm writing or smaller things that I'm putting together. It's a lot of little administrative type tasks combined with doing the final edits. So as for the final edits, I'm breaking down, normally I do copy editing as one process, and I do line editing and copy editing kind of at the same time. This time I'm splitting that up, and I'm doing that for a reason, and it's because I am not going to use ProWritingAid on this book. I've used it on the last several books, and when I first started using it, I did genuinely like it. I'm now having I'm having thoughts about it. We will talk about that in a moment, but it is 11:15 and I would really like to get I think, one chapter line edited before I continue talking and before I stop and take a lunch break. I've been doing other things here at my desk. I want to feel like I've done something for this book today. I am going to do a lot of editing this afternoon, so I just want to feel like I'm getting started on this next part of the process, because getting started is the hardest part, and getting started is where I will sometimes procrastinate and just delay, and we're not doing that on this book. So I've got Independent Hearts 4 opened up. I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna dive into the prologue. The prologue's not that long, so maybe neither is chapter 1 now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm gonna try to line edit the prologue and chapter 1, and then we can chat some more. I need to stop for lunch. I've been trying to film this clip. I've been distracted. I've just, yeah, it's now nearly 1 o'clock and I should have been done with lunch and starting editing again by now. So I've gotten off schedule. The prologue and chapter 1 are done, so I am going to stop and take a lunch break. It'll probably be a shorter break now. I would really like to be starting work again by 2 and try to do like a 2-hour editing block this afternoon, because I want to get at least 2 more chapters, if not 3. If I could get through chapter 5 and do 5 chapters a day. It's the 4th of July on Friday, so I don't know if that will work, because I don't want to do any work on the weekend or any work on a holiday. But I'm trying to get the line editing done as quickly as possible. So my process for this book: line editing, copy editing. Normally I do those as one step. This time I'm breaking it apart. What is my process for these final edits? I have made a little list in my project notebook. I'm gonna basically be reading this book 5 times between now and publishing it. So I'm gonna do the line edit, then I'm gonna do a quick read on my iPad, the copy edit, then I'm gonna format it, then I will do another quick read of the formatted book, and then the final proofread. And I'll be like trying to catch things in each of those reads. I'm hoping that will help me catch things. So what is different about this time? I'm not using ProWritingAid. I don't want to linger on this. This is what I've been getting just really insecure about. I don't like talking negatively about a brand, especially when I haven't like done a deep dive research. My feeling is it's time for ProWritingAid to kind of separate. Maybe it's not a total parting of ways. Maybe we'll get back together at some point, but putting it on pause. I'm just going to try seeing how it feels doing a book without it. So short history of my experience with ProWritingAid. I started off, I think it was probably with my 2nd or maybe my 3rd book. I've used it for the past 6 or 7 of my 8 published novels. I started with an annual subscription, really liked it, and liked how it felt like it was helping me at that time. And so there was an affiliate link with another person in the indie author space. I got at least a 30%, if not a 40% discount for Black Friday one year. I bought the lifetime license. So I am a paid customer of ProWritingAid and I own it outright. I've got the lifetime license to it. And for most of the books that I've used it on, I really liked it. What I like about it compared to other editing apps that you can find is I feel like it actually teaches you a bit about grammar while you're using it. I think that's all, for me, that's always been one of its strengths. So as I was using it, I was learning a lot of rules about commas. I was learning how to recognize like my passive writing. I'm the queen of passive writing. I know this about myself. I accept this about myself. I accept my crown. So I've learned how to like catch that and try to make that better. But that is something about my writing that I know about. And so it was helpful to like really be able to see that and see all the different examples of where I've kind of written something in passive voice. And so now I am better at catching those things. I'm also now better at catching like where I need a comma and where I don't. And I'm not an expert on comma rules, but I am a lot better than I was. And so now I'm just starting to notice with the last 2 books that I use ProWritingAid on, I've just noticed that it feels like it's slowing down my process, where it's flagging things that I already know what it's flagging and I know I'm going to reject it, what it's suggesting. So sometimes it's little things like it hates the word huge. I don't know why, because it's not a bad word. But if I say there was a huge crowd, it always wants me to change it to one of two suggestions, either enormous or tremendous. So it does not like huge, but it likes enormous and tremendous, which then just makes me feel like, well, then I've got these like really big, very like memorable words. Like I feel like huge kind of will fade in your memory. If you overuse the word huge, it's going to be a lot less noticeable than if you overuse the word enormous or tremendous. So it's not very good at varying the vocabulary suggestions that it makes. Another thing it's not that great at is it will catch some words that are in the wrong context. Like it'll catch if you use the word form and you mean from, but, and this is a weird one because like it seems so obvious that it should catch this. It doesn't catch when you use the word laugher out of context, or it doesn't catch that you mean the word laughter. So if you write in a sentence, the laugher fills the room, it's pretty obvious I mean laughter in that context. Laugher is a real word, FYI. It means a person who laughs. It's also in North America an informal sports term. It's related to sports. So it is a real word, but it's not the correct word in that context. Like, given the real definitions of the word laugher, the laugher fills the room, never going to be correct. And yet ProWritingAid misses it. I noticed that with Forever Love London, that I was doing the proofreading and I caught one instance of it, and thank goodness I had the thought I should search the whole manuscript for this word, and I found 2 other instances where ProWritingAid had missed it. And so then that just begs the question, what other correctly spelled words used in the wrong context is it not catching? And so it's just one of those little things that kind of damaged the kind of trust that I had started to build with this app, of feeling like it's really good, it's really powerful, it's a lot stronger than built-in grammar and spell check in Word or in Google Docs, which are both programs that I don't use. And I've never really felt like, I'm going to give Scrivener's spell check a try, but I've never felt like Scrivener's built-in spell check has been that powerful. So in the beginning, ProWritingAid felt like an amazing tool that I was using. With the last couple books, it started to feel more like a hindrance, where it's not catching everything, and then I feel like I still have to be really, really, really careful in the copy editing and proofreading stage to be able to catch things. And so if I'm going to have to read extra closely as if I wasn't using this software in order to like feel confident that I'm catching things, then what's the point of using it in the first place? And so that's where it feels like it's just slowing me down and becoming more of a hindrance. So I'm not going to use it for this book. I'm going to do this completely on my own. So fair warning, there might be a couple typos that slip the net. I feel like each of my books has at least a couple typos that have slipped the net, especially the first one, because I didn't have any assistance or like software or anything helping me on that. And also it was my first book and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just doing my best. I know I catch typos in 99% of the books that I read, both traditionally and indie published. So I feel like it's just kind of, my joke has always been the fastest way to catch a typo is to publish something. So again, fair warning, you might find a typo or 2 in this book, but you'll know that it's because a live human has done all of the editing. I can't afford to outsource these steps, so I'm doing everything myself, and I'm doing it all very slowly, very carefully, and very intentionally and consciously. And I'm not going to be relying on software to try to speed up my process or streamline it or hope that it will catch things that I won't catch, because at this point, I don't feel like it will catch things that I won't catch. I feel like I'm catching things that it's not catching, and so I'm just not going to use it. Again, I'm not saying that I will never use it again. I need to do more research into the company and its stance on AI and how it is incorporating generative AI into its program and into its software. But I know that where it's at right now and my own experiences using it on my last few books in particular, it's not for me. So I did want to make that clear because I have talked about them in the past. I have felt confident in my usage of it in the past regarding AI. I have felt confidently that it wasn't crossing an ethical line for me, and my ethical line is, my boundary, if you will, is probably very different from other people. I'm a lot harsher on it than other people are. My stance against AI is a lot harsher, I feel, than for other people. So I feel confident in my decision to use it in the past, even using it last year on Forever Love London. But it's starting to enter a gray zone for me, but also from just a workflow perspective, it's beyond gray zone. It's in the red zone. Like, it's not helping me. So I don't want to use it. And yeah, I think it is time to at least separate, if not completely part ways, from ProWritingAid. So there you go. That's that. But doing it by myself and intending to read it 5 times from now until finishing and uploading does put me on a bit of a time crunch. So we will talk about timelines and deadlines in a moment. I really need to stop and take a lunch break and relax for a little bit, and then we can chat about that and get back to editing. I am trying to get back to work. I'm definitely getting behind schedule today. So it's 2:20. I really want to get at least through chapter 5. Oh, is that even possible? That'd be 4 more chapters. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 4 chapters to get through to the end of chapter 5 today. I'm in a weird mood today, kind of related to what I was talking about in the last segment. I've been watching videos and stuff about generative AI and stuff, and it makes me sad. It just makes me sad. And I feel like the line between generative AI and just like AI powered or AI assisted is getting blurrier and blurrier, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, I do not want to talk about AI anymore, at least not in this vlog. I can't avoid talking about it in the future, but I don't want to talk about it anymore in this vlog, because honestly the AI aspect is only one part of why I'm stepping away from ProWritingAid. Even if they didn't have the generative AI aspect of it, even if they were just exactly what they were when I first got it, I probably still would be stepping away from it because of the other reasons I talked about. So anyway, moving on. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Goals and deadlines. Let's talk about that, because that's not going to stress me out. Goals and deadline. Basically, July is going to be a nightmare. I'm really trying hard not to think of it that way. But I feel like I need to just say that once, just so you can know that like that is where part of my brain is living. So it is July 1st. So I'm right on target with wanting to start line editing on July 1st. That's what I had said, and I'm meeting that goal. So that's great. But to line edit, do a quick read, copy edit, do another quick read, and then proofread. And proofreading is a two-phase. It's reading the final formatted, like final draft, reading through that on my iPad, marking up any things I do find that need to be changed, and then going into the file and making those changes. Like, that's a lot of steps. And I want to have them all done by the end of July. I haven't flipped my calendar over. Let me do that. My lovely William Morris calendar. So there's July. I need to be able to see the correct month. There we go. My calendar is up there. So when you see me looking up, I'm looking at my calendar. So it is Tuesday, July 1st. So I have all of this week, and then 3 full weeks, and then a 4th week of Monday through Thursday, and then August 1st is a Friday. So that's not a lot of time to do the line editing, the copy editing, and the formatting, and the proofreading, and finishing up the covers. And during this time, somewhere around the week of the 14th, this isn't gonna work. None of this is going to work. I'm an absolute fool for even thinking August 1st is a realistic date for uploading everything. I'm still gonna work towards that date. But I'm just saying now that even though you're gonna hear me referencing August 1st, I know, you all know, that's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. My syllabi are due on July 21st. So yeah, somewhere around the 14th, I need to shift back into teacher mode, at least part-time, so like I can still be doing editing that week, but that week is going to feel more like how the semester feels, where I'm evenly split. So I need to do my syllabi, I need to request my courses, my course shells through Canvas. I'm just gonna kind of spend a week just knocking out as much teaching work as possible in that week, bearing in mind that some of the stuff other than the syllabi can wait until August. That wouldn't be a bad idea to save some of it for August, because if I can upload the book on or around August 1st, then it's just a waiting game. And so from August 1st to August 21st, I will have time to focus on teaching work and getting ready for the semester, as well as resting. This is why I really want to be uploading the book on or around August 1st, because it just would be really nice. It just would. It would be really nice to have that uploaded to KDP and off my plate by around the 1st. The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, I probably wouldn't do anything on the 2nd or the 3rd of August because that's the weekend. So like somewhere around the 1st or the 4th uploading it, because then it is just off my plate and I'm waiting for the proof copy to arrive and all of that. So we'll see. So if I'm trying to stick to August 1st as a deadline, I really need to try to have line editing done by the end of this week, which might mean doing some line editing on July 4th. I'm kind of using today as a test. How many chapters can I get through today? With the line editing, what I'm doing is I'm reading through each chapter, line by line, sentence by sentence, and just asking myself, is this sentence as strong as it can be? Is it as tight as it can be? Is it as clear as it can be? So I'm just making little tiny tweaks and edits on a sentence by sentence level. So it's not taking a ton of time because I'm not making developmental changes. I'm not completely restructuring things. It really is just little tiny tweaks here and there. So reading a chapter doesn't take that long, so I do think I can get through several chapters a day. So I'm gonna keep reading and see how many chapters I can get through today in the next, it's 2:31, so in the next like hour and a half, and see where I get by like 4. I really wanted to stop working today at 4 because I am so tired. Like, I'm not feeling as bad this July as I kind of remember feeling last July. I think I was a lot more tired at this point. I just remember last summer getting to the halfway point and being like, oh my gosh, you're halfway through summer break, you are still way too tired. I'm now about halfway through summer break. As you've probably been able to tell, I don't know if I can completely edit it out, my brain is frazzled. This is the hardest part of editing for me. It's different for everyone, but for me, as an indie author who does all of the line editing, copy editing, formatting, proofreading, covers, I do all of that myself. I don't outsource any of that. So this is the part where it starts to feel like work. This part feels like a job. Like, I can't lie about that. I really, really can't. This part feels like a job in a way that writing and developmental editing, those stages feel more fun. This feels more like work. And so it's just really hard when you get to the end of a project like this where you're down to the hardest part and the part that feels like a job, but my brain it's rebelling. It doesn't want to do this. It wants the book to be done, and I want the book to be out. Logically, I know I need to do these steps to make the book the best it can be. It's like I want to do a good job on this, but my brain is really, really tired. And it'd be different if I could take a whole month off away from it and then come back and do this stage, but I do not want this book to be coming out in September or October. I really want it to come out in August, if that is at all possible. And it might be possible if I can stick with the schedule. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get back to editing. I'm going to work for an hour and a half until about 4 o'clock, and we'll see where I'm at. If at 4 o'clock I just need to do like one more chapter, like if at 4 o'clock, I don't feel like it's going to take me that long. So I don't know. I'm going to work until 4. We'll see how far we get, and then I'll make a decision about what I'm going to do after 4 o'clock. It's late. It's nearly 5:30. So much for stopping at 4, but I have gotten through chapter 6. No, yes, I've done chapter 6. So I will start chapter 7 tomorrow. So if we count the prologue as a chapter, I've done 7 chapters today, which is really good. So if I can try to do at least 7, if not possibly 8 or 9 tomorrow, because I won't be vlogging, I might be able to then finish this on Thursday, or possibly have like just the final chapter and the epilogue by Friday, and then I don't care that it's the 4th of July. If I'm down to the last 2 chapters, I will finish that on July 4th. I'm tentatively hoping, my rough schedule, looking at my calendar, in an ideal world, whether we live in this ideal world or not remains to be seen, but in an ideal world, I would have the line edits done by Thursday. I could then do a quick read Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Starting on Monday the 7th, I could start the copy edit pass and copy edit from the 7th through the 11th, and then probably also the 14th and 15th. Give myself a little bit more time for copy editing. Then I could do another quick read the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Take the 19th and 20th off, because that's the weekend. Format on the 21st, and then proofread on the 22nd through 25th. Take the 26th and 27th, that weekend, off, and then finish proofreading the 28th, 29th, 30th, somewhere in there. That would cover the line editing. I wanted to do another quick read before formatting. So if I formatted on the 21st, I could try to do another quick read. Anyway, it's possible. You get where I'm going. It's possible that in the next 29 days, I could still give myself the weekends, and it'd be good if I could time things. Like, if I could finish copy editing by the 11th, do a quick read on the 12th, 13th, and 14th, format on the 15th, do another quick read on the 16th through 18th, and then have the 21st through the 30th to finish formatting. Bearing in mind that during all of that, I also need to be working on the cover. So like, if I could finish proofreading by the 25th, have the weekend of the 26th and 27th off, and then on the 28th, finish up the cover, the book description, the author's notes, all of those things. I don't know. It's possible. It's just not entirely probable that I will have this all done by August 1st. But I am so close. I am so close. I just need to stay focused and stay on track and not procrastinate and not let fear hold me back. But that is definitely what I am struggling with. I want to do a whole video at some point talking about fear and writing, because I feel like fear is something that keeps coming up for me. So like, I'm still thinking through all these thoughts, but like, I've talked about how afraid I am of Project Darkness, and I know that there's a lot of fear and hesitation that's holding me back with Royal Romance, and I'm at the stage with Independent Hearts 4 where I'm just afraid. I'm afraid it's not going to do well. I'm afraid I'm going to mess something up in these final stages. Like, I'm so worried that my brain is just so tired that it can't do any of these last steps, that I'm just going to make mistakes and I'm going to leave in errors that I would normally try to catch, or that I would normally be able to catch. And so I think I was saying this in the last vlog or the vlog before that, but like, I'm just so like, I'm starting to get the fear of what if it doesn't live up to people's expectations. I know there's quite a few of you who are really looking forward to this book coming out. It's been 2 years since Candle Shop came out, so if you're someone who only reads the Independent Heart series, then it's been a while since you last had a book come out in this series. On the one hand, I publish these faster, like I publish at a faster rate than I might if I was traditionally published. Because it's really just about how quickly can I get them written and can I get them edited and ready to go out. But I don't publish as fast as other indie authors. I'm not an indie author who publishes 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 books a year the way that other authors I know can publish. Some publish more than 5 books a year. I don't know how they do that. I would lose my mind. But I'm not someone who publishes very fast, and so there is always a wait in between, and I feel like that gives you all time to get excited and to get your hopes up, and that gives me time to get really anxious about living up to those expectations. And I can already hear a lot of you saying that you're gonna love it no matter what, and I don't need to worry about other people's expectations, and you're right. You're right. That doesn't stop me though. And I'm struggling at this stage, like with the line edits and copy edits, when you're looking at it, your work, when I'm looking at my work on a sentence by sentence level. Every sentence feels like it's not good enough. Every sentence feels like a better writer would be able to write this in a better way. And I cannot let myself think that way. I really can't. That way madness lies. But I can't help it. And I'm watching a lot of AuthorTube videos and channels right now, and particularly a lot of people who've been going through the querying process or the submission process, because I'm trying to do some research on what that process is like and what to kind of expect and what I need to like prepare for as far as Project Darkness is concerned. Like as I start editing that, I want to be aware of the things I need to be aware of for that. But like, I'm going to be writing that book in a very different way than how I write these ones. I know this series is good, but I feel like I'm getting the sense from watching all these videos that when you are writing a book to go the traditional path, there's just a different set of expectations. There's a different way that you approach it. And that's not how I have set this series up. This series is designed to be a series of interconnected standalones as an indie author in the indie market. The advice that I need to follow for Project Darkness is not the advice I need to follow for Independent Hearts. And it's not just a genre thing, it is an industry thing. But I'm letting all of that get into my head. And so I find that I'm comparing myself. Like I'm struggling with comparison. I'm struggling with how I'm hearing other people describing their books and their work, even though they're completely different genres and completely different publishing paths. I'm hitting that point of this process where everyone else just feels like a better writer than me. And as I'm reading through this sentence by sentence, I just keep having this feeling of none of it is good enough. And that's so wrong. I'm so wrong about that. I know this is a good book. I know I've written a good story. My beta readers have all loved it. And my beta readers all read a different range of books. And I trust that the feedback they're giving me is coming from a fairly neutral place. That my beta readers are people that I can trust, and I can trust that they would tell me if this still wasn't ready. So like, I know it's a good book, but again, when you are sitting here staring at your manuscript and reading it sentence by sentence, you just start questioning everything. And so that's what I'm struggling with. And it doesn't help that like I've got a lot of fear and anxiety around this book and around launch coming up and just everything that needs to be done, and will it all get done on time and blah blah blah. There's like book and project specific fears and anxieties, and maybe I need to do a general like life in my 40s vlog and just like a life update. I feel like I haven't sat down and like just chatted about life in a little while. I feel like the last few videos, if you look at my video list, I feel like they've all been very project focused recently, which is fine. Yeah, I guess the June reset video is kind of a life vlog. And then my Q&A talking about just life, but it's been a month since I've done a Life in My 40s vlog. So we've done a lot of of writing vlogs, which is good. That was intentional. But I am starting to feel like I need to just be able to sit down and talk to you all about life. I think I've been avoiding it because life is weird right now. Life is stressful. Life is very, I'm really, my anxiety is on high. I know I talked a little bit about this in a recent vlog and how like writing, in a couple of recent vlogs, about how writing helps me with my anxiety, but like, which is probably why I've been focusing the vlogs on writing and editing and stuff, because I'm trying to hide and run away from my anxiety. But like, I've got the project specific fears and anxieties, but I've got general anxiety. Just my anxiety in general is not great at the moment. And so I feel like that's infiltrating all the other areas of my life, including writing, and my brain is like, you're trying not to think about all these other things that you have a legitimate reason to be anxious about. So let's just make you anxious about the book you're about to publish, because wouldn't that be fun? My brain needs to stop. So yeah. I don't want to end this vlog on a down note. Ultimately, I'm pretty happy. I'm dealing with things. But I got through 7 chapters, 7 sections of the book, and I told you at the beginning that we were like 99,500 or 500 something. We are at 98,677 words. If I look at my writing history, I cut 870 words today. I added some, but then I cut a lot. So the net results for today is negative 870. I am so happy with that I have managed to cut 870 words from this manuscript in only the prologue and the first 6 chapters. That is fantastic. If I can be cutting 800 words from every like 7 chapters, then I would be cutting another 16 to 1800 words in this manuscript, and I would feel really, really good about that. So I do think I'm making things a little bit tighter and just a little bit more focused, which is great. I am reducing some of the passive language and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's fine. It's all in my head. Like, it's real. The effects of anxiety are real, but I'm torturing myself for basically no reason. So I need to stop. So yeah, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, but I'm ultimately feeling really good and I'm happy with the progress that I've made. So I just need to keep it up over the next few days and over the course of the month and not get stressed about delays. I just need to every day sit down and work on it. Even if it's not as much as I want to get done, just still sit down and work on it. So it'll get done eventually, and it'll get done on or close to August 1st if I just stick with it and don't let the fear get the better of me. So yeah, small progress every day. That's what we're focusing on. And on that note, I'm gonna go. I need to go relax. I'm done for the day. It's now 5:45. I've been talking for 20 minutes. I'm gonna have to edit that down, but I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. That would be amazing. More adventures in editing and publishing coming up over this next month. I will be vlogging all of it. The next time I vlog though might be once I start copy editing. So yeah, but you'll be seeing bits of this whole final process. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. That would be amazing. Say hi in the comments. On your way to the comments, open up the description box. You will find links to all of my things down there. My Patreon, my newsletter, all of my books. If you want to get started on reading the Independent Heart series, they are interconnected standalones, but you do have a little over a month, at least a little over a month before book 4 comes out. So if you want to read the previous 3, you do have time. And yeah, below the description box is the comments. In the comments, you can leave me some notebook emojis and some pink emojis for the pink ink in my new pink pen. These pens, moment of appreciation. Target has a collaboration with the Rifle Paper Company. I did not need to know that, but I found them and I bought them. So yeah, leave me some pink emojis. Pink flowers, pink hearts, because pink also just makes me happy. And our question for the vlog, give me your favorite quotes regarding overcoming fears. I feel like that would be really helpful, not just for me, but probably for some of you. So any of your favorite quotes that like just make you feel less afraid, I could really use those right now. So it's not a question this vlog, it's a request. And on that note, I'm gonna go, and I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!